10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations, supernatural beings. What's on the wall over there? And all different types of paranormal activity. What we discovered, the South Coast is wickedly haunted. Hi, I'm Todd.
Hi, I'm Marissa.
Welcome to Wickedly Haunted. We're back on the air. We're super excited to be back here. Here is a quick clip to give you an idea of what we have in store for you tonight.
Without hesitation, the Uss Salem is the most haunted location in New England.
In the waters of Quincy, Massachusetts, is a historic floating fortress.
Oh my God, he's turned it on. 96. Wow, thank you. It's at 580, 70, 83, 11.6. Thank you. Nico, if this is you doing this too, can you turn the other light on or turn that one off? 1928.
Yeah, this is not, it's not, that is not right.
Are you saying that the box created a portal or there's something trapped in the box?
That motion sensor has physically turned.
Correct.
That's crazy.
It was facing straight, it is now facing to the left about 5 degrees. And I could hear it turning on the thing. It was going. Can you do that again? See? What the hell was that?
That wasn't you?
I don't know.
You heard?
That wasn't me. It was right in front of me though. Thank you.
Whoa,
He jumped on his
whoa.
head.
Is it like stand on Tony's shoulder? Oh my God, you're giving him a shoulder
Yes,
ride.
and he's gone.
So we're back. So just to let you know, the reason why we haven't been here for a couple weeks, a couple Fridays ago, after Marissa was in pain for a couple days, I rushed her to the emergency room, and it turns out she had to have emergency surgery. So she was in the hospital for a few days, and she's been home recovering ever since, and really just wasn't up to doing it up until today. But she's feeling much better, thank God. And we're super excited to be back here. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to delve into the subject of spirit portals, which is a big topic in the paranormal world, as far as what they are and what they do, how they're created, and how it related to our investigation of the USS Salem. And we have a lot of fantastic video from that investigation for you tonight. It was really crazy. We didn't know what to expect. We had never investigated a ship before. We always get activity, that's for sure. But, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen for a few reasons. But as far as spirit portals go, we weren't even sure if we believed in them until we went on the Salem. And basically what they are is a doorway into the spirit world. That kind of veil that separates their world from ours, that they kind of blink in and out of from time to time, which is why if somebody lives in a haunted location, they don't have experiences and activity all the time. It kind of pops in and out. A portal is basically a doorway into that veil that allows them to come freely through.
Allows them in and out of realms.
Correct, to communicate, to manifest. And a lot of strange phenomena will happen around the portal that you wouldn't normally experience. Portals can be created a few different ways. One of the ways they can be created is if a horrific incident occurs. Something like a mass shooting, a war, a plane crash, something like that, where there's a lot of energy in that one area. And usually when it's a portal created by a negative event like that, you'll get a lot of negative, weird activity around it. Not always, but sometimes. Other ways portals can be created is through people's own intentions. Somebody uses a Ouija board doesn't close it out properly, that doorway's open and they don't close it. They leave it open, which is why we always make a huge effort to close out our communication sessions after our investigations. It's a big mistake a lot of investigators make. They open that doorway, they don't close it. That's how things get attached to them. That's how they get followed home. That's how these supernatural beings like demons end up in this realm, and maybe they don't attach the person, maybe they just hang out in that area and wait for the next person to come along.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Another way is through a huge amount of energy being expended in one area. That can also open up a portal, which we'll get to in a little bit. And, you know, all these things together can kind of create a perfect storm, which is kind of what happened onto the Salem. Now, the USS Salem is a haunted warship in Quincy, Massachusetts that we've wanted to investigate for a long time because we heard it's very, very, very haunted. When we got there, we did an interview with Mr. Don DiCristofano.
Yeah, DiCristofano.
DiCristofano, I'm sorry. Since the brain surgery, I have a hard time with names. Look, now I can't say it.
DiCristofano.
Okay. Awesome guy, super nice guy. Gave us a really nice tour, a lot of information. He even investigated us for the whole night. He was an awesome guy, really sweet guy. You know, gave us the road treatment there. We really appreciated everything he did for us. And we did an interview with him as we got a quick tour of the ship. So we're going to show you a piece of that interview first. So why don't we roll into clip number 1, and we'll check out that interview with Don so you get some history of the ship and why it's haunted.
Without hesitation, the USS Salem is the most haunted location in New England.
In the waters of Quincy, Massachusetts, is a historic floating fortress, the USS Salem.
Naval ship in the world that saw no combat but saw as much death as the Salem. The Salem was brought to the Brooklyn Naval Shipyard. And while she was there, a smaller ship, a light cruiser, the USS Cleveland, moored outboard of the Salem.
That night, a fire broke out aboard the Cleveland.
It wasn't a very serious fire, and they got it under control and put it out pretty quickly. As the fire control guys were putting their gear away, they were securing all their equipment, one of the ammunition magazines detonated. So when the guys that were injured during the explosion burned in the subsequent fires, they were all brought aboard the Salem for treatment, and a lot of those guys were too badly burned or too badly hurt in the explosion.
And because it was such a minor iteration that nobody really thought much about, nobody considered the fact that there were 3 guys in the gun pit inside the turret. And those guns are like a seesaw. When they go up on one end, they go down on the other. And those 3 guys, 2 of them were hurt. And this guy in the letter talks about, you know, this guy, yeah, he's been in the hospital all day. The docs have been working on him all day, but they don't think he's going to make it.
Can you imagine the angst when it started to go up and they realized
what was happening?
And you can't get out that fast?
Yeah, there was no getting out of it. So, like I said, we're finding out more stuff. Even now, we're finding out more stuff all the time. I mean, we're always digging, of course. You know, that's part of
No,
it.
I didn't personally think, but when you have 20-year-old men, that thing, you know, it's after the war too, right after the war. All right, so either they survived the war or joined after, and we're going to do a few years and have an adventure, and blah, blah, and you got your whole life ahead of you, and then a powder magazine blows up, or a gun turret raises up, and all of a sudden your life ends.
You never think about it.
And they're not ready to go, and they're not thinking about it, and that's right for them.
Right, that's exactly it. As we move on here, since we're kind of delving into that area already, what we found towards the end of last season was that there is another entity aboard the ship that we weren't familiar with.
Yeah.
We believe it is a non-human.
Yeah, well, they're trick spitters.
I don't use the D word. I don't think that's what it is. I tend to think that it's from the water. I think it's from the water. I think it's a water elemental. I think it was here and has been here, and I think when the ship got here with all these spirits aboard, I think it looked at the ship and said no. Because we now talk to spirits who will tell tell us that they can't talk. And one of the things that gets the chief going, one of the reasons we think, he considers himself kind of the guardian of the ship.
What did I say? Guardian, right?
There's a room back here that's got some of those costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
And one of the girls says that whenever we're back here, the first thing the chief does is run through that room to make sure that we're not in there.
Oh, trying to take them out?
Trying to take stuff out. I had a lost time thing back here, which is something that I could go to my grave completely happy if it never happened to me again.
A partial possession type one?
No, and it was, so I gotta tell you that the first time I ever came into this room, at night, the lights on, I didn't know what the hell I had no idea what I was doing. And basically what I said was, I hear there's a sailor back here, and I hear you're a tough guy. Well, I was a sailor too, and I'm a tougher guy than you ever were. Whether you're dead, alive, something, I don't care, you bring it on. And nothing happened that night, but...
That was like the first time you ever...
That was like the...
Really? I thought that was like a recent thing.
No, it was years and years ago.
No kidding.
And then about a year later, maybe, amazingly, it was with RTS. This woman, Kelly Hurls, who's, well, anyway, she was here and another guy, and she, all of a sudden, Kelly said, well, he's here now. And no sooner did she say he's here, and my back was the coldest. The only comparison I can draw is that a few years back they had a Titanic exhibit in Boston, and they had a chunk of an iceberg, and I leaned against it. And that's the only time I've ever been that cold.
Yeah, natural cold, yeah.
And it was no sooner did she say he's here, and she said, and he's right by him. And she said, and he's laughing at us because he thinks we're the dumbest thing. She said, except he hates you. And I was like, I said, what did you say? And she said, he's laughing at us, but he hates you. And of course, here I am going, I'm a delight. I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on. And he said that you disrespected him, and he hates you.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I felt this. And I turned and I said, what was that for? And she said, look at your watch. And it had been about 20 minutes that I had. And I can tell you right now that I had a little bit of blood in my palm from where I had been making a fist, and my fingernails had dug into my chest.
So they were trying to get you to respond.
Kelly said, Kelly said, you were ready for a fight. You didn't even know it. She said, that was him. She said, you were ready for a fight. You didn't even know it. And like I said, it's one of those things. Nothing happened. I obviously don't remember anything. But at the same time, I would certainly die. So this is the CPOMS. And this has become, I'm going to say this has become the most active room on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a definite contender.
I like, when we come in here, I like to sit in this chair because, for a couple of reasons. One is that one of the few
Residual haunting is a theory where people think that these ghosts are not intelligent. They just do the same routine over and over and over again without realizing you're there, while an intelligent haunting realizes you're there and can interact with you. I personally believe that rather than a residual haunting, these spirits are reliving their death over and over again and walking that same path.
We have a sailor that walks by this door. He walks the same direction every time. Yeah. He can walk by that door, call it 3 times in a 5-second period. Always going the same direction. We've had to stop the last 3 or 4 investigations to get people off the ship. And these were all people who were believers.
Yeah.
But the difference between believing in ghosts and having your ponytail pulled That's night and day, brother.
And he's absolutely right about that. It is night and day. When some of these things happen to you, believe me, it's mind blowing. It takes you a while to even wrap your head around it. When some profound things happen, you can't even for days. You're like, did I see that? Did that really happen? Just because we've been so ingrained not to believe in this stuff our whole life. But back to the Salem, we did investigate both those rooms. They were both extremely haunted. The whole ship was incredibly haunted. And before we went to the investigation, Marissa and I talked at length about the ship because we didn't know what was going to happen for a few reasons. One, it's all metal, the whole ship. Every room you're in is a metal box, the floor, the ceiling, the walls. And we had done some research, I don't remember when, but we knew that metal absorbs electronic energy and then kind of spits it back out into the area. And with metal all the way around you, you had basically energy bouncing all the way around you. We have a lot of electronic equipment. We have a lot of stuff that expends energy, and we didn't know what was going to happen with that, especially with this. If you haven't been on the show before, this is our spirit box, the Vortex. It gives us direct communication with the spirit world, but it works in a few different ways that I'm not really going to get into because it's kind of an invention. But it definitely can do some crazy stuff with communication and with the spirits. And we didn't know what was going to happen once we put this in the metal box with our other.
Especially on the water too.
Oh, that's correct. Yes.
I thought that would be a big thing.
Explain why that would be, though.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Well, in the paranormal world, a lot of people believe that water, moving water especially, can be a conductor for spiritual energy, which makes sense because they're basically made of the same type of energy that electronics are. And electric, if you're standing in a puddle and a telephone, and a power line breaks off during a storm and falls into that puddle, you're going to get, if you're in your bathtub and you throw a hairdryer in it, you're going to get cooked. Because water is an excellent conductor of electricity, and so is metal. If you're holding a fork and you stick it in your light socket, what's going to happen? So we went on the ship. It's all metal. It's sitting in the water. It's a museum, but it's sitting in the water. So you had those two things, and then if you remember what I just said about portals, intention can cause them. It's a museum, but it's also a paranormal investigation site. So every month people go in there and try to contact spirits. They go in there with that intention of contacting spirits. So that's thinning that veil to the spirit world as well on a constant basis, okay? So then we came in there.
We had intentions, that's for sure.
Correct. So we had the intention of contacting the spirit world. We're very big believers. There's no doubts in our group. And we had the Vortex. It's called the Vortex for a reason. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's called a Vortex. Is another type of portal, a bigger one. And you threw all of us into these small metal box rooms. And then you also had horrific incidences on that ship in the past. Not from wars, but as Don mentioned, there was an explosion where a bunch of sailors got burned to death. There was a gun turret that went up and crushed a bunch of sailors in it. And then what wasn't in the interview is they were off the coast of Greece one time in like 1957, I believe. There was a huge earthquake, and they brought people from those islands off the coast of Greece that were crushed in the earthquake and hurt, and they brought them on the ship to try to save them. A lot of them, it was like 1,200 people or something, and a lot of them didn't leave. They died there. So there are a lot of those ghosts there.
We don't even know the exact count.
No.
We don't even know the exact amount of people that died on the ship.
I think there's at least like 90 confirmed. Is what I saw.
There were many more.
I'm sure. And then there's all the deaths that, record keeping was terrible back then. Yeah. It was terrible. The ghost he was talking about, the chief, they don't know who he is. They don't know his name. They've just heard things on their devices and spirit boxes with the name Chief, I think, or whatever. He's just a spirit there. They don't even know who he is. So I don't, he hangs out in that one room that we were in. So you had all those things. And when we talked about it after, it was the perfect storm. And you're going to hear proof of that in the coming videos, and you're going to see proof of that. So in the next video that we're going to show, We're setting up and just getting the investigation started. And honestly, this is one of the first times where I call this video All Hell Breaks Loose, because all hell broke loose while we were setting up. Like, we've had a couple devices go off while we were setting up. We've heard things, but not like this. This was like, I was into the investigation when the mojo's really going and things are peaking like that. This popped off right away, and it was insane. Like, every
didn't
piece.
stop either. It
No.
never stopped.
Every piece of our equipment was going off during setup, and it was insane. Like, I'm trying to put cameras down and set things up and put tripods out and everything, and it was like the investigation started. So this first video is nuts. It's called All Hell Breaks Loose because all hell breaks loose while we're setting up and when the investigation first gets started. So let's roll this next video. You're gonna love it. When Don informed us that our visual motion detector had been going off since he entered the room. Normally, once something walks by this motion detector, it turns on for about 20 seconds and then shuts off once that person passes through. For it to remain on means something is actually standing in front of it.
Oh, really? Nothing at all?
No.
Oh, well, it's been on since I walked in here. It's been on.
And nobody's been over there at all? I just don't know why it's not shutting on. There's something still standing there or whatever.
There we go. All right, so here's the battery.
I
This
hate to
thing's
ask
going
this, but
That's going off.
Yeah.
there's another detector.
Well, I figured this one out first. Okay? There we go. Hi, I'm sorry. There's no power source over here, right? On the floor?
No.
Okay, it's going back to zero. Hi, are you the spirit known as Chief? Make that go up. Are you the spirit of a sailor that passed on the ship? Can you make that go off if you're the spirit of a sailor?
That's all, that's all.
This shit going on already. We
Oh,
need to
that on again!
Look, we ain't even get set up yet. Look, just.
Is that all?
Facing the right way, man. That's facing the right way.
Turn it off and on, see if it...
It's faceless in there. It's a motion detector, bro. It's something's over here.
It's facing the wall, so something
It's
that's.
facing-
Oh, it's facing the, oh, it's
Yeah,
facing the wall.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
it's
all right,
facing the
okay.
wall.
Okay, all right.
Something will walk by.
Right now, this one is audible, this one's drunk. But this one seems to work better than that one, and that one hardly works at all. So.
Okay, I see. I didn't mind.
This way, you know what, you have to walk. You have to be over here.
Okay, I thought it was...
Moves away from that motion detector, you will notice that the siren immediately shuts off. All right, let me do this for you. If you passed away on this ship, can you make it nice and bright? Did you pass away on this ship? Did you pass away on the ship and you served on a different ship and were brought over here for medical attention? There you go. Can you turn on the light? You either turn that one off or turn that one on if you were on a different ship and were brought over here for medical attention.
I'm confused.
There you go, thank you. You were confused, remember, people from other ships were brought over here.
No. I'm confused.
They serve on the ship.
I don't know. Here we go. It's just, I don't know what this. I don't know what the answers are. Is what I'm saying. Is because he keeps just playing with the flashlight. I think. Is he saying yes to both?
He shut one off and he did exactly what I told him to do, which was to turn that one off or turn that one on, and he did both.
So did he serve,
So
or was he brought over? That's what I'm asking.
he died on the ship, but he was brought here from a different ship.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
If you served on the Cleveland and were brought over here due to an explosion, can you turn that light back on or shut that light off? What was the name of the other ship?
Pierce. John R. Pierce.
Were you serving on the John R. Pierce and you came over here as a result of a mishap that you were injured in? No. Did you get injured in an earthquake maybe and were brought on the ship for medical treatment and passed on the ship?
yes, okay. So just to confirm, don't shut it off yet. If you were injured in an earthquake and brought on the ship for medical treatment, ended up passing, you turn that light off now, if that's true. Oh, yes, okay, thank you.
So have we concluded now that what's going on over here with the flashlights? Is this somebody who was killed in the earthquake? I believe so. That's what we...
So just to make sure, you have that light off, don't turn it on yet. You were injured in an earthquake and brought on the ship? Can you turn that light back on if you were hurt? Oh, something was definitely standing over there, trust me, that thing never turns on. But when it happened to me in the hotel last month or whatever, that's exactly what it did. I looked over, it was on, and it just stayed on like that, and then it shut off. It's pretty weird. Did this thing just go off?
Oh, my ghost apps are gone.
Can you make that go off again? Is it 00? I like turning it off. Okay. So, is this the same person who said they were injured in an earthquake and brought on the ship for help?
If you are my friend Nico, can you turn the light on, please, Nico? Oh, Nico.
Hey Nico, how you doing? Thank you for coming to talk to us. Nico, can I ask you a question? Can you shut the light off for me? Can you reset that light? Shut it off? So I can ask you another question? Great, thank you. If you are the only spirit in this room right now, turn the light on. Boom.
The other light.
Okay. So just to confirm, if you're the only spirit... Oh yeah, there you go, thank you. Awesome. And are there any other non-human entities in the room? Turn on. So, real quick, let me ask you, are there any other, I know you're a human spirit, are there any other entities in the room with us? Turn on the light if that's the case. Good. Good. All right, so just to confirm, you're the only, there you go, hey, you answered my question right away. You're the only spirit or entity in the room right now. And Nico was doing, he's a young old man. Oh my God, he's turned it on. 96. Wow, thank you. It's at 5870 11.6. Thank you. Nico, if this is you doing this too, can you turn the other light on or turn that one off? 1928.
Yeah, this is not, it's not, that is not right. Right, that's not human. That's awfully high, right?
I don't know, thank you. Okay, all right, well, just to make sure, can you back away for a second? Just for 1 second, can you back away? Can you back away from the device though? Just so I know that... Can you just back away from it so it stops beeping? You can do that. Can you touch this other box over here and make it go off? This one, see this one right here? Can you touch where my finger is right now and make that go off? No matter where I go, it's blown up. 6037. Okay.
Now,
Does this happen often?
do you infer anything from the fact that the flashlights are kind of random now?
If they go on and off by themselves, then something's going to do it, and I'm off the talk. They're probably just trying to get our attention, that's what I think, because I went off because this started going nuts. Nico, is something else doing this for this device? Can you turn on the light if there's another spirit or entity doing this to this device? Because this was doing nothing for a long time. Is this you doing this? Tell the lady if this is you doing this. It is, okay. This is an impressive amount of energy, Nico. And it's at 00. Can you shut that light off so I can ask you a question? 827. Wait, can you shut both lights off so I know the true answer, please? This is crazy. Yeah? Which one do you have? Yes, okay. Okay, can you back away from this device for a second so I know it's you? 00. Alright, now can you make it go up again and make it go red? That's 00. Can you touch it again now? Can you touch the device? There you go. Thank you. If this is Nico, it's at 00. Touch it again, Nico, if this is you. You're done. You need your buddy Nico here to a lot of power.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you. Nico is... Go ahead, can you back away for a second? Thank you for showing up. 40. I can't believe he shot at 28. That's pretty... I can't believe he shot at 28. Pretty high. Nico, can you stop for a second? Thank you. Did you stay on the ship because you're looking for your wife? If that's the case, can you confirm that by touching it? Thank you.
There's a flash.
Alright, can you back away from this for a second? Okay, go ahead, back away. Do you want to hear your own voice and make this go real high? Keep it up. You want to talk to us using your own voice? Oh, shoot! I never heard of that. Thank you.
Crazy.
And all I never had to go off before?
Well, what cracks me up though is that for so long, the light one was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now the light one's been off all this time.
Yes.
Oh, there's a flashlight.
Nico, can you back away for this for a second?
Oh, there are more than one. I mean, Nico's not the only one.
Yeah, how can they, working this, working that, working
There's a
that?
lot going on here right now.
Yeah.
But spirits can be like in several places at once.
Well, I realize that, but it's like, I gotta be honest, I never got the impression that Nico was this strong.
Tall.
8 when I see
I never got the feeling that.
Listen, I've only seen that a couple
Really?
times. 7'6".
Yeah, that's
Nine,
probably what
I
I
mean-
would say. I found the barrel sign, it just says tall.
Look at this, it doesn't stop all on. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the box. I think it's time we can hear some voices, because you guys got some power. Alright, so it was crazy. It felt like the energy in that room was swirling us around us as the devices were going off around us, and then all together you had the flashlights going off. Of course, we didn't see the orbs, but on replay, we see them shooting around. You see the 2 white boxes in the far corner. That's where Don was standing in the interview where he said the chief hung out and watched everything. So I put 2 motion detectors there. Now, one has a little light on top of it that cycles through the rainbow if something gets into its beam. And when that thing moves, it shuts off. Okay? The thing stayed lit up almost the entire time, and that thing never lights up. It lit up at another recent investigation, but it was really, really crazy that was going off. And then the other one that made the noise, the old armory, the old armory, my grandfather actually worked there for like 20 years after the war. We'd love to get in there,
If anybody has contacts, we tried to call the state to get into New Bedford Army, and I haven't heard back. If anyone knows someone that can get us in there, it's right near our house, we'd love to get in there. But anyway, the motion detector that makes noise never goes off, ever. I don't know if it's ever gone off before the Salem. I put it out just for a goof, but it never goes off. And both were going off, but they weren't going off at the same time, even though they were pointed into the same area. And the way those things work is they shoot infrared beams out, and if something breaks the beam, they go off. So it was really bizarre, like really bizarre. And you even saw an orb shoot away from one. And hi, Auntie. That's my aunt right there down in Florida. Hi, Auntie Pam. She's awesome. And an orb even shoots away from it, and then the thing shuts off. So it was really crazy. It's very rare to have every device going off at once all around you. And it was just, hey, there's our boy Brandon. Nice. Big investigation tomorrow night. So that should be.
Yeah, that'll be fun, Brandon. We can't wait.
Yeah. So the ship. Yeah, there's Marissa's mother.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom. So it was just really nuts, and it got even nuttier. Like honestly, that ship, we could have gone anywhere in that place, and it would have been like that, I believe.
Yeah.
The next place we go to was like a little conference room area that Don was talking about, where he sees the ghost walk by. And I'm sorry, you know what? That's not it. We stayed in that room. It was with the vortex. The next part is to get back into the portal. When we turned on the vortex spirit box, we started hearing voices coming out of it saying that there was a portal, and it even said that there was a demon that opened it up, and that we couldn't tell whether they were saying he was stuck in the vortex or whatever. But you hear a lot of different spirit voices coming out saying a lot of crazy stuff, and it was really, really nutty. The voices were super clear there, and I think that even Don was impressed.
Yeah.
He went and got his camera to check it out too. So that was cool too. That was kind of cool that he went and got his camera.
Yeah, it was.
It was fun having Don with us. Real quick before we go to the next video, I forgot to mention this. If you're dealing with paranormal activity, if you have a haunting in your home and you need help with it, okay, Relatively Paranormal will come investigate your home for free. We can even cleanse it if you need us to. Okay, we've cleansed many houses over the last few years. I think we're batting 1,000 as far as that goes. I can't promise that I can clear everything out, but Marissa and I can try. So if you would like to book Relatively Paranormal, it's Marissa, myself, our best friend Brandon. The three of us will come out. We will validate what's there. We will try to find out who's there, why they're there, what they want. If you want it cleansed, we can do that for you too. The email address is up on the screen right now, relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. We also have a website that has a booking form on it. That's relativelyparanormal.com. Very simple. The website also has links on it to our YouTube page right here, which is also Relatively Paranormal. We have awesome evidence clips on there from the past few years. We have full investigation videos that we put on there that are like an hour long. It's all evidence, all activity, all the time. It is not like watching your regular paranormal investigation shows on TV. We're about the evidence. That's why we watch ghost shows, period, is for the evidence. It's all, if you want to see paranormal activity and you want to see paranormal evidence and you want to hear spirit voices and see crazy stuff, go to our YouTube page. It's all free. Please just do us the favor and support us by subscribing while you're there. That's all we ask. Please subscribe.
Just hit that button.
We also have a a public Facebook page. Again, Relatively Paranormal, very easy. Anyone's welcome to join. And we put stuff out on there, and we try to talk about things dealing with the paranormal. I don't care if you're into hauntings, UFOs, cryptids, whatever. We'll talk about whatever. We love it all.
Send us a message.
I mean, obviously, we only do hauntings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
We'll send a message back right away. Either Todd or myself. Also, I wanted to mention that if you do have something in your home, or you think you may have something in your home, and you just want validation, we will come out, but also we'll provide all of the footage that we come up with, so you can have that to keep for your records.
And just keep in mind too, just because you need help doesn't mean you have to appear on the show.
No.
If you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. We're here to help. Listen, we don't judge, we don't charge, we just help. Honestly,
Thanks, Diane.
you don't have to be on the show. If you need help, we're here to help. If it's an emergency, you got kids or something, we'll come right away. But anyway, back to the clips. This next clip, you're going to get to hear the vortex. And again, back to the portal thing, you're going to see what we mean. When you hear the boxes of portal and stuff like that, they're talking about the vortex.
Mm-hmm.
So let's roll the next clip.
In what? In the ship? In where? In the box? In what, though? The box? You're saying there's a demon in the box? How could that be, though?
Demon. Trapped. This is a demon trapped. Yeah. You nutter. It says you nutter. I've never seen that before.
It's talking about hard spots.
I guess. I
It's just so good.
I might hurt something.
Did you catch that? As Brandon moves out of the way, a white ball of mist shoots in and almost explodes when it reaches the camera. It seems to almost manifest into some sort of form.
This is what? Right here. Oh, where? I don't know. What was that?
Oh, it's over here. Who set up the motion detector over there?
Demon.
Who set up the motion detector?
Girl did.
And then a girl said I did. And who?
Jessica.
What's the girl's name?
Dear Jessica. Did you hear it? It's Jessica. Nine. Language. I knew they talked a different language. There's a guy that's talking on here. He talks a different language. Maybe Greek, whatever.
What? Are you saying there's a demon trapped in the box? Are you really trying to say that?
Portal.
Yeah?
Unholy.
Are you saying the box created a portal? Big portal? Huge?
Kiss.
Are you saying that the box created a portal, or there's something trapped in the box?
So you can see the look of shock and bewilderment on my face as I'm listening to the box, and it's saying freaky stuff about demons, and I couldn't tell at first whether it was saying that there was a demon in the box, which made no sense to me, or if the demon was in the box through a portal, or the demon just opened up a portal using the box.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot to mention that's another way that portals can open up is there are supernatural beings of a higher or lower level, whichever you want to call it, who have more power than others, that when they find high energy sources can use them to manipulate the energy and create a portal and bring themselves through and whatever other nasty things they want to bring through. When you open up a portal either through any of these methods, that door's open, anything can walk through. You know, there's no bouncer there, you know, caught in these things saying, oh, you can't come in, you're a demon. You know, anything can come through. But from what I gathered, especially listening to it after, because I probably only hear half the stuff live, right, Marissa?
Yeah. Well, you heard a good amount.
Yeah,
This
there
one
I heard a
too,
lot. Yeah,
you know, pretty clearly.
it was
but
super clear there.
when we finally put it all together,
It's
it made
crazy.
more
To
sense
me,
and-
somehow there was a demonic entity. Don talked about some negative entity there, whether it was him or something else, used the energy, that perfect storm, to open something up, and it felt like it. You could feel it.
Oh yeah.
It was palpable. It really was palpable. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It was palpable. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting there listening to it, and you're going to see the shock on my face of and the wheels turning. Like, what the? How is that possible? What do you mean there's a demon in the box? Now, Marissa asked me if I was going to tell you about this, so I guess I will. We were so kind of freaked out about the whole demon in the box and the portal thing that I actually rebuilt the box. That's a new box that I built. I built the Vortex. We're on really the 5th or 6th generation of it. I started off with a little plastic box, and I've worked my way up, adding different things. But I was so freaked out that I trashed everything except for the top and the door, and a couple of the guts of it. And the guts of it I cleansed with white sage, prayer candles, prayer for a few hours. Like, I was really freaked out.
But he didn't just throw it away. He jumped into the car, drove a few miles, and then disposed of it.
I put it behind some concrete barrier in the middle of nowhere in a field full of reeds. Hopefully no one will ever find it, because if there's something attached to it, let it sit out there behind a barrier where nobody's going to find it for like 10 years, honestly.
God, I hope nobody finds that.
It was a little freaky, man. I didn't want that in my house if there's something attached to it. And, you know, I cleansed the rest of it. So that's actually a new box that I built. Believe me, the other one was only like 2 months old. I was kind of pissed off that I had to fix it.
Yeah. Well, this came out much nicer.
But to get that type of paranormal evidence, it's worth it. You don't see that stuff on TV or the internet or anywhere. That's just crazy stuff. I mean, normally you'll hear one word, not whole sentences about your spirit box ripping a hole in the spiritual veil for supernatural entities to walk through, and a demon did it. You really don't hear that anywhere. So to get that, I'll take it. I'll rebuild it. Sure, why not? The next part is in that conference room where he was talking about the ghost that walks by all the time. Now, I put the same motion detectors in the doorway there for that, to watch the hallway, because he said something walked by. And as you're going to see, something stood in that doorway the entire time we were in the conference room, because that damn light was on the motion the whole time. And it's weird when that motion detector's on like that. It's almost like you can sense somebody standing there, like grilling you, like staring at you. And that's what it felt like the whole time. But the other weird thing that happened in that room was something that I haven't experienced a lot, was the vortex wasn't on, and we were getting answers through banging, knocking on the metal. You could hear it. Yeah. And it was weird. We also got like EVPs on the camera microphone that you don't get a lot. We heard a scream on it. A lot of weird stuff happened in that room.
Did you put the scream on here?
Yeah, the scream's on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
There's a lot of weird stuff that happened in that room that we didn't experience a lot. So I didn't put any music over it or nothing. I just put it out there raw. And whenever there's a bang or a noise, the only thing I did was just raise the volume so you could hear it better. I don't edit any of the evidence at all. I did raise the volume on the bangs just so you can hear them better. But they were loud in person. Whenever something happens, just so you know, on a paranormal investigation in person, it's a hell of a lot louder than on the tape after.
Yeah.
Marissa and I heard a blood-curdling scream in the middle of a graveyard at 2 a.m. one time. We thought a woman was being murdered in the graveyard. We searched around everywhere for like half an hour, It was horrific. It actually, nothing scares me. It startled me. It really did. Like, I thought somebody was getting killed in the bushes.
It's crazy.
And on the video after, when we heard it, it wasn't nearly as impressive.
It was like, what? That's what we heard, you know?
Something growled at us once, and honestly, it sounded like something growled right in my face.
Oh
it was
my
like
God,
a foot away.
yeah.
And then on the video, it's not that impressive.
Mhm.
It's crazy like that, but you know, it's just a weird thing. So, but these things in that room were loud, like real loud, real loud. It sounded like someone was pounding on the metal like walls and stuff, and they were answering questions through that in our devices. But it was all happening at once again, swirling around that room. It was crazy.
Wait, last one. Last clip.
It's not the last clip.
Oh, it's not the last clip? Oh.
Oh, it is the last clip. I'm sorry, it is the last clip. It is the last clip. I'm sorry, we're out of practice. We haven't done this in a couple weeks. All right, so let's roll the last clip.
No, what else?
Where's
This thing
the
goes from
CPU
61
uh,
to 57, from 60.57.
Come in here, you don't have to hide out here, or if you're right in front of that thing.
Up to
That doesn't do that, that
2.9.
shuts off after a while, for sure. Hi, can you shut both those lights off? Is there something out in the hallway? How many, can you tell me, are you the only spirit in this room? Just heard there was one of the strangest EVPs we've ever captured on our cameras. I'm gonna replay it for you, but what happened was Brandon coughed, and almost instantaneously after he coughed, a strange voice says the word cough, just like that. Really weird. I'm gonna replay it for you in slow motion now.
That's weird. Is that the temperature? Is that a temperature indicator that's going off?
The temperature and, yeah.
No, that's not temp. Oh, it does have temp on it, yeah.
But it's gonna do it for
But the beeping is only the EMF.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is this off? Come on in here and talk to us. I know you're out there. I'm not sensitive at all, and I can sense you. Can you turn on the light? Are there any? Oh, both lights are on again. Okay. Can you turn off the lights for a second? Are there any sailors in here?
I heard 2 thuds out in the hall.
No, I heard it too.
That way.
Who's making this light go on off out here? Did you just make a
I'm
noise?
just stepping the same kinda.
There's something right in front of me. Can you do that again? Can you make that noise again? It's touching this box right here.
How do you know?
What?
How do you know? Oh, you're the, you're the SLS.
No, I have a night vision camera.
No, I'm looking at the SLS.
Oh, you are?
All I can see is Todd.
Is it mapping them out too?
Yeah, it's mapping them out.
Because I can hear it tapping on it, like moving it, and it's turned a little bit to the left than where it was originally.
That box, you just said that motion sensor has physically turned?
Correct.
That's crazy.
It was facing straight, it is now facing to the left about 5 degrees. And I could hear it turning on the thing. It was going. Can you do that again? See? What the hell was that?
That wasn't you?
I don't know.
You heard?
That wasn't me. It was right in front of me though. Thank you.
It sounded like something fell on the floor or...
No, it was like a pop.
It was like a
No.
pop.
Wait a minute.
What was that?
That was like a pop right in front of me.
I heard it.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Is that something on the floor? Oh, it's a spot.
There's nothing on the... Nothing, that was
It was
a
up
pop.
in the air.
It was like right here. Hey, can you do
was?
that
It wasn't
again?
on the
Yeah.
floor.
I thought it sounded like something fell, like a quarter landed on the floor.
No.
And that's what made me look, because we found coins in here before.
Just thrown in here.
No, it sounded like you remember things when you were a kid that used to throw at the ground?
Oh, yeah.
It sounded like a pop. Can you back away from that motion sensor for a second? Or make the one to the left of it or right of it go off? I heard another noise. Do you hear it? Can you make that tapping noise again? Every time I go to walk over there, like it starts like tapping on something. I know you're standing right in front of that. If you were a sailor, make a tapping or banging noise.
I'm hearing some bangs or thumps.
Did you come over here after being injured on the Cleveland? I heard that. That was in the back of the room.
Did you move, Tom?
No.
I've been trying to stay still and quiet.
No.
You hear that bang in the back of the
It
room?
was right here.
Yeah, that's what I thought, no?
So you're saying that you were aboard the Cleveland? Bang. And did you get caught in an explosion?
Jesus.
It's fucking weird.
Okay. And then were you brought aboard this ship to try to be helped?
Over there, then?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. And were you burned?
I don't have it. No, this is something we told me once day.
If activity was all around us at this point. Entities and spirits were answering questions through the EMF meter. They were banging on the walls, the ceiling. It seemed like it was coming from all around us. Out in the hallway, you couldn't really determine where the noises were coming from. You just knew they weren't coming from inside the room and that they were direct responses to the questions being asked.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That bugged the hell out of
What do
me.
you mean?
Pat, where are
You
you?
want.
He's over there. That is not Pat.
That's not Pat. Look, and it's not
Yeah,
outlined.
it's behind. Tony's right
It's
behind
right
you.
next to you.
Lift it up. Let me lift the thing up. Sir, you're standing behind Tony there. Can you wave your arm up in the air?
There it is.
Thank you. You're waving it over your head, Tony. Now let's watch that again on the full screen. When asked to wave, you can clearly see the entity juts his arm out and starts swinging it around all over the place. Then as we clap, he even becomes more animated and takes a bow as if he is some sort of performer. This is truly incredible SLS footage.
It's floating.
How you feeling, Tony? Pretty secure? Feeling good?
Pretty good.
Good.
There you go. He's still waving. He's waving again.
Can I turn this around so they can see you now?
No. Then you would put the light on us. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Sir, if you were the sailor that came over here from the Cleveland, can you wave again?
Oh, there he goes. Oh,
Oh, look.
just kind
He's got his arm around you,
He's
too.
waving again. Look, he's waving again.
He's got his arm around you.
It floated this way in between you two guys, then it went back. Like
Sir, are you making that device go off?
He's like climbing.
he's got his hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, and his knee on his hip. Not anymore.
Okay. Sir, did we talk to you down the hallway in the other room? Oh, you're gonna
Move that.
No,
Yeah.
right there. Can you touch Tony on the back? Give him a pat on the back, a gentle one? Or maybe touch his hair? Whoa,
That's
that thing's
touching
blowing
the
up.
table.
Sir, are you touching that box over there? Can you make a noise if you're touching that box? Or make that box go off again right now? I don't think it's him over there. Is that box zeroed? No, not that. I think the stick figure is something different than the box. Sir, were you brought over here from the Cleveland? Can you nod your head? Whoa,
He jumped
whoa.
on his head.
What? He's like sitting on Tony's
his
shoulder.
head.
Oh my God, you're giving him a shoulder
Yes,
back ride.
and he's gone. So it's sometimes when those stick figures show up, they don't do anything when we ask them to. It was pretty cool to see him like put his arm up and wave it around.
Yeah.
You know, and then I asked him to pat him on the back, touch him on the back. The thing's jumping on his back, but I didn't notice
in real time, but I noticed after that when we were clapping, Marissa's going, yay, and we're clapping, and that thing took a bow.
Yeah, it did.
I didn't notice that live in real person. I noticed it after on the review. But that thing actually took a bow. Good for him. That was cool.
Yeah.
But-
And that tells me that it probably wasn't a demonic entity, so it's most likely human.
Yeah, Luann, that would be cool. Yeah, we're always open to collaborate. That would be nice. Thank you for putting up the comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Luann.
We'll reply after the show.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was really really funky to see that.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Again, if you need any help with a haunting, if you're experiencing any paranormal activity, if you're not sure what you're experiencing, and you would like us to investigate, you can either email us directly through relativelyparanormal.com in the booking form, or you can go to our email address, relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. Also, it's warming up, and we love to investigate outside. So if you know of any local, like really haunted cemeteries or haunted locations that you would like to see us investigate for the show, please send us messages. Thank you, Auntie.
Thanks, Pam.
Send us a message so that we can go check those places out and have that content for the show. Because we are looking for more places to investigate.
We do have a nice investigation tomorrow, though, so we'll have some.
And we're going to the Lizzie Borden house in a week from Saturday as well. So you'll be seeing that video coming up soon. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Next Friday, please join us again. We appreciate all the support, and please check out our YouTube site. Please subscribe and enjoy the videos. They're awesome. It's all similar stuff. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.